So what do you do with a spruce tree that you've just cut down? Well, in this case, turn it into spruce lumber. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to put together a $60 chainsaw sawmill from Amazon and eventually mill all this up into lumber. Come with me while I build it. Thank you. So we're going to be putting this together today. It was well packaged. It's Amazon, $69 special. I figured it's worth it to at least get started on chainsaw sawmilling. Give me thrashing around. Pull all the pieces out. We can get started. I'll finish just some unpacking it and I'll get back to you. And we're back. This is everything that's included in the kit. They give you a set of gloves that may or may not fit my gorilla hands. Well, they sort of fit. So there'll be spares. They include a scrunch, and this is all the hardware. Instructions seem pretty straightforward. No strange Chinglish or anything like that. Hardware looks alright. Standard. They give you a socket. I've got my power tools, of course, I can use. Stop saying so much. First step is to slide in 3 of these nuts on either side. Second step is to take your castings, which are extrusions or castings, either one. They actually look pretty good. A little bit of no sharp edges or anything. So that one goes here. They don't say whether or not to any specific distance from here, so what we'll do is we'll set a distance and it can be adjusted later on. Let's go with 2 inches for now. They say to use a washer, a nut. They have these larger double-sized nuts, which is good if it's kind of iffy material. It should work fairly well. Hold up well, I should say. Let's see what we need. 13 millimeter. we're just going to snug it down for now. Once I get further along, I'm sure there'll be more instructions telling me to do something differently. This is my first real video, so bear with me if I seem like a complete noob on this. It's because I am. Alright, next piece will be this. And that plate. Just go like so. Slide in the other two. I actually do have plans to build my own of this, but honestly, for the cost, the materials, aluminum materials, would cost me way more than the $69 I spent, and it was shipped to me in 2 days. Conundrum of okay, that's a little off. So let's loosen up. Chinese manufacturing, I suppose. If I do end up doing a lot of milling, I'll probably go with a better setup or modify this one accordingly. So it's 14 inches. So it's definitely not in the center. We'll measure the center. Grab a screwdriver. Yeah, Sharpie. So this is actually 36 inches long. So 18. So blanking. Yep, 18 inches is the center, and I knew that. I just am nervous about the videotape process. And that is not right. I think I'm going to have to get a square out and square everything out too. Oops. All right. And I'm supposed to put the handle on at the same time, which I've already forgotten. I already haven't done. The saws I'll be using with this are going to be my Husqvarna 371 for smaller stuff, and also my Husqvarna 372, assuming the ignition module I have on order shows up and actually fixes my problem with it. And I have an additional Husqvarna 395 on order because of the excuse to buy a new saw. Why not? I have no delusions of them being as good as OEM Husqvarnas. I'm a homeowner, and it's a cheap way to play around with a big saw. That and the fact that I can repair and modify as I see fit. So I certainly enjoy working on saws. So good excuse as any to play around. And I found the square, so I can come back and try to square some of this stuff up. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. And which immediately went out of square. Alright, we need to get a little smarter on this. Concerned comment right here. Why can't this dingbat do this right? Well, of course, when you're on video, you do things completely different than what you would normally do. That's rarely square. Go back over here to the other one. Do the same maneuver. That's actually pretty good. Being square probably doesn't matter all that much, but it certainly bothers my OCD. So we will be doing that just to confirm that it's at least halfway. And that is definitely not. Alright, that looks a little better. There. We're still at 2 inches. And we're just a quarter over here, so we need to move that over a little bit. I'm actually a retired computer repair person. Well, electronic technician is my real title. I retired in the last year. And now I get to play around and do whatever I want, which is, frankly, great. I really do enjoy being retired. I do saw repairs on the side sometimes for people. I actually just finished up a MS261C regular maintenance, and actually I completed the muffler mod and retuned the saw afterwards. And what little I've messed around with the M-Tronic so far seems kind of nice. Alright, I have that. So next piece they want to do the end guard, which we end up having to bend. Not really too much of an issue. Alright. We'll set this aside for the moment. And assemble these pieces. Oh, let's see, that goes there. That's there. This piece goes with that. This is what clamps the chainsaw, end of the chainsaw bar here. And a couple washers. There we go. Some left. This is also 13 millimeter. Right, that one's built. And just, well, we have to end up fitting that. And of course have enough room for our bar end. I'll go a little wider on that. Pretty close. Just right in the ballpark. And we will also be, oh, this is actually the bar end. This is towards the chainsaw head. I'm a rank beginner at the chainsaw milling. I've been using a chainsaw for over 40 years and managed not to cut any body parts off of it anyway. Alright, that's step. Now we assemble. And we're back to the sub-assembly we built earlier. This goes here. That goes to there. This is where our U-bolts come in. And these little guides. And they go in, and I knock that over. Now, it looks like we're going to have the right number of washers anyway. Yes, there it is. There's scales marked on the uprights for adjustment. I think they're in, see if they're in inches or not. That's interesting. Yes, they're in inches. So it's definitely for our, and I'm going to have to flip that around so we're consistent. Yeah. Right now. Oh, no, we will be. All right. Nope, we won't. Okay. Sure you have a wonderful view of my bald head right now. Some of my winter projects this year consist of building or rebuilding a 1989 Polaris four-wheeler. It's a 2x4 trail boss, which has been a nice little machine so far. Of course, I went with as an experiment, mind you, I went with a Chinese rebuild kit for the engine, and it was a colossal mistake, which I kind of thought, but I figured for $100 I'd play around with a little bit. I like experimenting with things, sometimes to my detriment. You'd flip that back around. I do have the original OEM jug, which was fine. It was a little worn. The piston was more worn than anything. It was low on compression. That's why I rebuilt the motor. And I actually managed to find an OEM piston for it. It's on the standard bore still. And we'll be shortly redoing that, which if anybody's interested in, I can certainly take a video of. It's a standard two-stroke engine repair. I prefer OEM engine parts, no matter whether it's a motorcycle or ATV if I can get them. With older junk like I'm running, it's always a question whether you can find them or not. I found if you dig around on the web and Google your brains out for a while, sometimes you'll luck out and find things. Of course, I have an advantage. Been searching on the web and various places for the last 40 years as a head of a maintenance shop to find parts for obscure computers to keep them running for the department and then college that I worked in. All right, that's that. And I think that's almost done. I have a crossbar to put on, which slides through here, and I don't know if that's going to fit. Yep, okay. Just clear the handle. I was worried it was not going to clear the handle. All right. Yeah, we're going to have to go that way. Sorry about that. I'm actually using a JIS screwdriver. I had it handy. The Japanese industrial standard. And this does not fit that nut very well, but it does work enough. Alright. And we'll see if this, the scrunch actually fits the nuts. So if you just have scrunch, it'll work. And let's see if the one I normally carry with me will also fit, which I think it will. Yep. So that's nice. I always have one of these around with me. Okay. And that is it. So there's a new function. You can use items number 20 to fix the chainsaw, the bracket nose. Pardon me. So evidently this is so you can must have to drill a hole through the bar to anchor it in place as a guide. And that's the assembly. And I have not tightened everything up yet. We'll just go up to 3 inches. The unit's nice and sturdy. Seems to be fairly well built for the price. You really can't knock it, I guess. It's a cheap way to get into chainsaw sawmilling. I hope this is hopefully informative. And again, I'll try to put the link to the Amazon page down below. When I put it on the chainsaw, I'll also take a video. All right. For the outro, here's the finished 36-inch chainsaw mill sitting on top of a 36-inch spruce tree. So come with me. Hopefully I'll have some more videos here shortly. And come with me when I turn this into lumber.